Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on my girlfriend's 4Runner. We're going to be getting rid of this ugly mess right here. We're going to upgrade it to the Apple CarPlay. So let me take you inside and we'll show you exactly what we're going to be putting on today. Alright, so here's everything that we're going to be working with today. So the car currently has the silver and we're going to change in the black. Hopefully it looks pretty good. This is the new Apple CarPlay. And here's everything that comes with it. Looks like we got a bunch of cables and stuff. We got our USB hookups. This right here is the new GPS we'll have to put in. All these have the 3M backing. That's gonna be the mic. And it looks like this is an antenna for the radio. And of course this is like the main harness they're gonna be working with. Here's the unit. So we'll have to end up taking out like the hazard and the controls and stuff and the vents and all that. And we'll have to transfer all of that over. It's kind of one thing I wish this had was the vents and stuff already on it. We'll just have to get the old one out, swap everything out for it. I'm not sure if there's a particular brand to this one. I did get it from Hamilton Motor Company. I'll put a link in the description below in case anybody wants to look at it. We did get this. We actually got it on a 4th of July sale, so it was a little cheaper than what might be advertised on the website now. Here's the back of it. You see we got all of our little cables and stuff we'll connect. Looks pretty simple as far as this unit goes. It'll just be getting everything apart in the car to where you can actually get this in there and get all of these cables routed nice and neat and fixed up. So I'm gonna get all my tools together and we'll get out there and we'll start pulling that thing apart. And the first thing we'll have to do is remove this side and this side, the silver pieces. And once we get that off, should be able to get a hold of this and be able to pull it out as well. Got both pieces off, so this is what the back looks like, so you know what you're going to be working with. And this part right here should pull out pretty easy once you get it attached. And I don't have my stand for recording, so I won't be able to actually show you in real time. Make sure you get like a towel or something to put right here over the shifter because you're going to be pulling stuff off and kind of resting it over in this area. Got the climate control out of the way. Next, we're going to be taking out 4 bolts. So I'm guessing this is what actually holds the unit on. So once we get those out, we'll be able to actually pull the whole unit out itself. All right, we got this pulled out. So once you remove those bolts, you just got some little tabs that are holding it in. Just got to take and wiggle it. So I'm going to get all this stuff disconnected now. And then we'll take this unit inside so we can start interchanging the vents and everything on it. And I'll go ahead and warn you now, if you're gonna do this, you need to get a micro set Phillips. If you look in there, there are some very tiny screws gotta come out. I got some up here and of course on the other side as well. And maybe some in here. So these little tiny screws here is what holds these onto the front. So I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a pain getting these vents out. You have a tab up here, 2 down here, and then you have 1 on each corner, and also on the right. I had to use a few items. I just kind of pried them in to open them up. I think I used about 4 scribes to pry in there. And you just gotta kind of take your time and slowly wiggle it out till it releases. Alright, so you can see I got a little screwdriver up here. I got 2 scribes down here on these bottom tabs, and I got 2 more I'm gonna put in here. And you just gotta kind of slowly pry these out. So there's the top one releasing. And try to get this bottom one. Alright, so there's that. So now we just got 2 left on this side. Should we get one up there to hold that? There we go. You can see it's definitely, it's a pain in the butt, but just make sure you take your time so you're not breaking everything. All right, so here's the hazard piece. I already removed it. There's a little gray tab. You just push that in and it'll pull out. And then to get it to come out of this part right here, you got a tab up top and on the bottom. You just push those in and it'll slide out from the front right here. Now for this part, this piece is connected like that. You're gonna have a tab right here. You're gonna have to squeeze to release that. And right here on the end, you'll see a slot. Just get a screwdriver and pry it in there to get this to release. And this will slide out like that. And these tabs here, you're gonna have to remove. That's gonna go on your new unit. One quick thing. So the yellow tabs right here are the ones that are on the very top and bottom. And the white one, you can actually see there is a difference in size. That's the one that goes in the middle over here. All right, we now have everything off of the old unit. And I'm gonna spare you all the misery of me struggling to put all the new stuff on. Or all the old stuff on the new unit. But I'm gonna get everything put on there and look through these wires and stuff and figure out where we need to get everything, and we will get this unit installed. All right, finally got this mess installed. So here is where your antenna is gonna go. You got your GPS, it's gonna be the gold one. The silver one is the 4G antenna, which is this little piece here. On the main harness, you're gonna have a little red block. I think this basically reduces any kind of interference from what I've read on these. So you got that plugged into the main harness. There's a small 4-pin, and this is a single USB cable, and this will be used in the vehicle later. There is a 6-pin that's right here. Follow that out. This is going to be your 2 plugs if you want to do a USB plug-in for your phone for Apple CarPlay. And you have one that's a 10-pin. It's got 2 blue wires that don't go to anything. They've been cut off. And you have a RX-TX. I'm not sure what that's for, but the thing we want to make sure we got is the camera one that's connected to that 10-pin. And it's going to connect to the CCD AVN, and that's on the main harness right here. And then you will have, I think it's like a 16-pin on the bottom. And this is going to be for all of your goodies and extras. I think there's one for a front camera hookup. You got your aux. The one we did use out of this is the mic, which we'll have to figure out where we want to put this in there. I think I pretty much covered everything on that. The only thing I got left, I need to throw in the hazard, and then we're going to get in the vehicle, start getting stuff connected, and make sure we got everything hooked up properly and we got everything working as it should. All right, so we got everything in place. One thing I did use was the foam block that secured this in the box. The slot underneath actually slides right over the shifter, so it's a good working spot to kind of rest your radio at. Now what we need to do is all of our parts that have 3M backing, we're going to figure out where we want to put all those, route them and stuff, and get them all connected. So I think the mic, I think we're just going to set it up here. Be a good easy spot for that one. We have our GPS, That one I will probably place it right back here. And then we have our 4G antenna. There's a white box down here that I will probably attach that to. And still need to figure out where we want our USB connections. These two, because that's how you're gonna use your Apple CarPlay if you want to plug it in, but it is wireless as well. This piece, I've already tied it back up. So this is actually a spot. If you have a SIM card and you want to use it, you can do that, but we're not going to be using it. Let me figure out exactly where all these connections go, and then I'll kind of show you how everything looks once I have everything routed where it needs to go. All right, finally got everything connected. These two plugs right here, I didn't see anywhere where those go on the new unit. You will have a couple that are new. I will say for the camera, there are two plugs, 2 mil plugs. So if one of them isn't working when you put it in reverse, try the other one. We did have to do that. You're gonna have your gray cable that's gonna connect to this USB. And I think that is, trying to figure out which plug that was. That's the one that goes into pin, the 4 pin down here. All this other stuff, you just gotta kind of find where they go. There's 2 plugs that weren't used. The smaller one and a big one. The rest of them, pretty much plug and play. They only fit one way. The mic, we are actually going to connect it down here somewhere. I did end up routing it down through here. It's kind of a pain. Might be good if you have some needle nose pliers or something to grab a hold of it and pull it up through. We're going to wait to connect that though, because we want to make sure we can get all the panels and stuff back on it. And I'll show you the unit itself. So just trying to figure out how to get everything to work. So I think we can go to, so there's a couple of samples. I got some Britney Spears on here. So we use that at first, test the audio. It all works good. You can go in and do a full equalizer you want. You can do presets. Turn it down a little bit. And all these are touchscreen. You can pull up like your fuel and stuff. And looks like it matches. Go back to Bluetooth. So you can connect a phone. Go to these. I think it was CarMate. Oh no, that was not it. Let me figure out how to get the Apple CarPlay to come back up, and I'll show y'all how to do that. Alright, so to get to your Apple CarPlay, go to Apps, and you'll probably start on the first page, but you go to the third page, and it's the T-Links. So when you connect on that, it'll bring everything up. You can pull up your map, messages, all that good stuff. All right, one thing, if you do have issues with your reverse camera, if it's showing like a bunch of scrambled stuff, all you gotta do is just go into car settings. You go down here to reverse, and you'll scroll down. And this reverse system selection, it was actually on another one of these, but we clicked on the NTSC, and that's what solved ours. If that one doesn't work, then just try the other ones. I think the US one is that one. But if you have any issues, just go through these until you get the one that works correctly. So got everything straightened away. So we actually did do some testing. We did not need the mic. So basically routed that for nothing. But I figured we'd test it because I was trying to free up some of this clutter. And the only thing that was connected to this whole harness here was the mic. So once we disconnected the mic, I disconnected this from the harness and we're going to do away with that, but the radio shut off. So I'm guessing there's some kind of power relay that goes through that, I guess, to keep the radio on. So I'm going to have to leave that in. Another thing I took out, because she is able to connect through Bluetooth for CarPlay, and she's able to use the factory USB cable to charge as well. So I did take these out. And this one I think that's the 6-pin. That's the one that goes right here. Ended up taking it out. So I'm gonna get this clutter straightened up and get everything put in here. Let me show you one thing real quick. So the 4G antenna, there's a little metal box in here. So I ended up connecting it there. And I'm just gonna tuck this back behind there. And the GPS, I just set down here. I was going to do it up here, kind of have it closer to the top of the dash, but there's some little ridges in here and it wouldn't connect flush, so gonna have to do away with that. But let me get everything put in here and get everything together and show you what it looks like. All right, so we got everything set in, and now there's only going to be 6 tabs holding it. And did double check, you're not going to be reusing the metal bracket, so I'm not even going to put the bolts back in there. They do have these little tabs, which when we put these covers on, should hold the bottom part of it. It should stay in there pretty good. All right, so that's it. Got everything connected. Everything's holding good. And once you snap these in, it does hold the bottom of this a lot better because there's a little ledge. I think it looks really good. Some future videos I might do. We might end up blacking these out. Not sure yet. Definitely want to, because this is a limited model. It has the wood grain here and on the dash. I think we're going to either black that out, maybe a flat black. Might do matte carbon fiber, I don't know. We'll just have to mess with it and see. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any videos. And I'll catch you next time.